Hey everybody, it's Captain Kyle and I'm here with 6 oversized knockoffs from different lines, different styles, and we're gonna go over these and see if they're cool for your collection. Be right back. So yes, I have 6 of these. We have a Siege Megatron, a bit oversized. We have a knockoff of Wingblade, Transmetal Cheetor. I think this is a knockoff of Robots in Disguise Strongarm, Optimus Prime from the animated series, and a kind of Optimus Prime. So let's go through these guys. I think I will start with this really big Optimus Prime. Now, he is actually molded from the Legend size, very small, but this is even bigger than some of the other ones I've used before. He is about 10 inches tall, which could put some G1 combiners to shame. I actually have the box here. He is called Power Giant, so he's pretty big. He comes with this gun, which is not an Optimus Prime gun, and a sword, which is not a typical Optimus Prime sword. So let's see, posability-wise, he's pretty much like the Core Class, full Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's got wheels on the back, so he can kind of roll. The legs go forward and back, though these plates in the back kind of interfere. Canoe's side actually swivels for the leg, and doesn't really have ankle rockers per se, but the toes do shift a little bit. Does not twist at the waist, but he does twist because of the transformation mid-chest. So that could make for some interesting posability. Arms go all the way around, bend at the elbow. They actually have a swivel to them, and the head does turn all the way around, doing the Exorcist thing. The back, you can see he's got this plate here, which covers his head area once you pop that away. And he's got the plates just like, again, the Core Class. So a pretty large version made from a very small toy, but pretty cool. Let's put him into his vehicle mode. So these weapons appear to be relatively generic weapons. Nothing that I've seen with Transformers before. And it appears they did some maybe slight remolding so that the legs, once he's in vehicle mode, can plug in to the arms. But there he is in his vehicle mode. Now, as far as weapon storage, you can put the gun on the back there. The sword doesn't appear to have any spot to put it on. But if you're displaying this guy in vehicle mode and you want to store the sword, you can put it down here. Only the back wheels really touch when you're doing that. In fact, only the back wheels really seem to touch even when it's not there. So there you go, weapon storage for the sword. Now, he does have some kind of nods to the Bayverse Optimus Prime. He's got the flames on the sides. His windshield is all one. There's no division. It's all in black, and the windows on the sides are black as well. But overall, for a pretty inexpensive knockoff made from a very simple sized Transformer, it's actually pretty cool. Could be Optimus's cousin, you know, Mortgage Prime or Interest Prime. All right, let's take a dive into the Beast Wars and take a look at this Transmetal Cheetor. Now, what's interesting is, and I haven't had a Transmetal regular Cheetor in a long time, but he seems to want to flop forward, as you can see. Doesn't really have functional knees. His legs can go forward, and you can almost put him into a full Jean-Claude Van Damme. I have the tail in the back, which I've just removed, so now he can do kind of a Jean-Claude Van Damme. His legs don't quite go fully out because of the way the connectors are between the legs and the torso. And you can take the weapon and kind of put it in his hand, but it doesn't really fit the way it should. So that's why I had it plugged up his ass. Or you can use it as a walking stick. He can twist at the waist, and the arms are on ball joints, so theoretically could normally go all the way around, except he's got the backpack thing. Now this is a Transmetal, so we will be taking a look at the Transmetal mode too. The Flying Cheetor, see if he's got that. But he's got the pretty much same look in the rear as the original. And the face sculpt looks very Cheetor-like. You know, he is a little bit bigger. Stands about 6 inches tall. I think the original was maybe 5 to 5.5 inches. I don't know. If you still have one, measure it up, let me know. Now, these arm shoulder attachments don't always seem to want to stay in place. They can wiggle out very easily, but it's a relatively inexpensive knockoff, so can't ask for too much, or could we? All right, let's put him into his cheetah mode, Transmetal Cheetah mode. As you might imagine, the transformation is identical to the actual Transmetal Cheetor. And here goes the tail right up the old poop chute. So there he is in Transmetal Cheetah mode. The legs are a little loose, and the heels keep wanting to come out of place, but overall, he's decent, just as shiny. Now, if you open up his side panels, he does have the jets. So, Flying Cheetah coming through. I don't remember it looking so hollow with the original, but I could be wrong. It's been a long time. But there he is, Transmetal Cheetor, as an oversized knockoff. Again, not a ton oversized, but definitely oversized. All right, let's go with the, I think it's Strongarm. If this is another Autobot that's in a line that I'm not that familiar with, let me know, but I'm pretty sure this is Strongarm. And she has this really generic, flat gun. Not the best gun in the world. One of the irritations about this is the tendency for this, the top of the vehicle mode, the wings to kind of flop down. So, one thing to be concerned about. Full Jean-Claude Van Damme. No ankle swivels, but the foot goes up, and the foot goes back. And there's no real swivel in the foot, only a little bit because of the ball joint there. But knee is bending. I don't know why I'm talking like this, so, because I said the foot goes up. The feet fly up, can do some high kicks, so that's a nice thing. Does twist at the waist, so very nicely. The arms, now they're on this kind of ball joint thing, so they can kind of go all the way around, but it's gonna, you know, knock the wings down again. They're kind of blocky, and because of the ball joint, there's a swivel, bends at the elbow. Fists, of course, don't turn, but the head does, so that's a nice aspect. The chest piece opens up. I don't know what's supposed to be in there. It's not a matrix, but this chest piece actually feels die-cast. It's like, I don't know that there's any other die-cast pieces, but the chest is. And like I said, the wings have a tendency to flop. So, but still a cool looking bot. You can see the back there. And with the hole there, I imagine you could use that for weapon storage if she doesn't want to carry her weapon at the moment. Of course, someone could come up behind her and steal her weapon and then shoot her with it, so that's not a good thing. But not bad. All right, let's take this robot and transform her into the vehicle mode. So there she is in her vehicle mode. There's a hole on the top that you can put the gun in. So there's weapon storage and something to shit yourself about if you saw this cop car come behind you. Now, I don't believe that I've had all of the Transformers Prime, so I'm not sure how close this is to the original or what mold it's based on, but it does roll pretty nice. So there she is in her vehicle mode. I like it. It's kind of a armored car almost mode, but pretty cool knockoff and pretty inexpensive from what I understand, from what I recall. All right, let's go with another Optimus. This is a toy that, obviously this is a knockoff, but they're gonna be putting out a new one for Legacy United. But this is close. It's not exactly the same as the animated version. First of all, his axe is fucking huge. I mean, look at that thing. That's massive. And there's some other differences. He does have the mask of Optimus Prime, so not the face, but he is pretty poseable. Does have that animated feel to him. rolls back and forth during his Jean-Claude Van Damme, so again he can dodge, which, you know, I don't know that he's dodge, but he can dodge. There's no real ankle swivels at all, but the legs can go forward pretty well, back pretty well. He can get kissed and put his leg way up there. Of course, side kicks, bending at the knee. He's got a swivel because of the ball joint in his knee, so the ball joint in his knee definitely helps with that. He can twist at the waist, though it looks kind of weird. The arms can go all the way around, back and forth out to the sides, bend at the elbow, elbow swivel because of the ball joint. Fists themselves don't actually twist. But the head turns, and overall it's not a bad representation of Optimus Prime from Animated. Not exactly the same, but he looks pretty cool. He could be a cousin. We're getting a lot of cousins in here. A lot of relatives of Optimus Prime, but pretty posable. The toes can move a little bit to help get him into some dynamic poses. And of course, this battle axe of doom can really be intimidating. All right, vehicle mode coming up. Transformers, more than meets the eyes. These two back plates fell off during transformation, but they pop right back in. The transformation is interesting. I'm not recalling if it's exactly like any of the animated Optimus Prime versions. I'm sure it's not far off if they've made some changes. And there he is. So I'm thinking it's definitely a modified version of Optimus Prime from Animated. And he actually looks almost like a trash truck. But I guess he's supposed to be some kind of emergency vehicle. Oh, let's get that rolling. It rolls. He's got lots of wheels back here and the two in front. You can see the open area here. It's almost like a flatbed or a dump truck, though there should be a cover on it. But that's weapon storage. The axe goes right here and plugs into the legs. But it's a pretty cool version of Animated Optimus Prime. Again, it seems a little bit different to me, but I don't have my Animated Optimus Primes right in front of me. But a pretty cool truck. You can see, you know, it's got the same distinctive kind of windshield. It's all painted black. This bumper, the Optimus grille, doesn't look like the front is floating, but it's still pretty cool. All right, let's go with Wingblade. So Wingblade was a Transformer that was, well, I would say fan-inspired or fan-chosen, but they didn't like design Wingblade, they just had options, I believe. I was not part of that process. But this is a pretty cool version of Wingblade. Kind of simple in a lot of ways, but huge ass swords. Has the fans on the wings, which actually can turn around. So that's kind of nice. Nice detail that they didn't skimp out on. And you can see the back there, there's a bit of hollowness. I don't know if this is a original design or something that they came up with based on a much smaller toy, but full Jean-Claude Van Damme pretty much, though she flips forward. And by the way, so I don't forget, she's about 6.5 inches tall. The legs can go forward and back. There's no ankle rockers, it's all one solid piece there. Can kind of go off to the side a little bit for low kicks, or you can kind of swing it out on a pivot there. Bends at the knee. Pretty much can fold up entirely because that's part of the transformation. There's no real swivel, just a slight bit due to the ball joint. And hi, Sky. Glad to see you too. Thanks for headbutting me right in the jaw. Now, twisting at the waist doesn't happen with this one. No way. The arms, pretty poseable, but can't go all the way around because of the wings and her back. But bends at the elbow, swivels out. Can move to the side so she could put her swords out like that. Charge. And the head does turn somewhat, just a little bit. It's, well, if you have the shoulders down, it can turn a whole lot. But if you have the shoulders up, high, then it's not moving much. So shoulders down for head movement. That's her back view again. And you can see the nose cone of her jet modes there, right? Right, Sky? Sky, of course, enjoys the female Transformers because she identifies with them, though I have yet to see you transform. Will you transform now? No, you'll just give affection. Okay. So big ass swords. Let's take a look at this in her vehicle mode. Transformation, super simple. Flip that up. The legs flip into place and plug in. And you can flip around the fans if you want. Now these arms here, well, you can push them up and kind of bend them to get them out of the way. There is a post here that basically you slide a slot on the arms into, but you can still kind of see her hands on the top. I don't see any way to store the weapons. I was trying to see if they'd go underneath the fans, but not really. And you can't really put them on these posts to be like jets or anything like that. So pretty much just put them aside. A decent looking version of Wingblade. It's got the VTOL effect. Right, Sky? You like her? Yes, you do. I like the gold accents, with the deco, the slightly darker tail fins, and the black and yellow on the canopy. You can see her face on the bottom, but not that big of a deal. Ooh, wait. Thought I saw a slot on here that might fit over there, but it doesn't. It's too tight. I'm not gonna force it and break it. But there she is. So out of these 6, 2 have been female. Now, this one here is obviously based on Siege Megatron. He's 21 centimeters. They had like a 25 centimeter, which would be more in line because I did some other Siege ones, and there was a Siege Optimus Prime that was huge, but he's a bit shorter. In fact, if I put him next to the original Siege Megatron, you can see he's not that much taller. He's a little bit taller, a little bit bulkier, and you could see him like spooning with his, smaller compatriot. Oh, my love. Okay, I'm getting ghost vibes. But there he is, basically exactly the same mold as the Siege one. Feels very solid. He's 8 inches tall. I don't have centimeters on this thing, so I read that it was 21 centimeters, but same back look, same sword, same fusion cannon, and same posability. Right, Sky? Full Jean-Claude Van Damme. Legs can go forward and back, though, runs into the tread backpack. Forward and back. Arms can go all the way around. There is some twisting at the waist, but if you go too far, it pushes out the backpack a little bit, which is not a big deal. So arms also swivel, bend at the elbow. The fists do not turn, but the head turns all over the place. And of course, it has ankle swivels, because it's based on a toy that has ankle swivels. So it looks pretty much the same, just a little bit bigger. I will quickly transform him into his tank mode, because it's a cool mode. The one thing that he has that the original doesn't is these little covers here. So when you fold his fists away, or when the fists are out, there's no hollows. So that's an improvement, so that's nice. Oh, and his shoulders can also be moved down and up. I don't know why, but they can. So there he is in his tank mode. The turret can traverse quite a bit, which is nice. But pretty much looks like Megatron, just slightly longer. From the back of the treads to the front, about 7.5 inches, 10 inches to the end of the barrel. Just a little bit longer, because the original is 9 inches, or from tread to tread, like 7. So a very cool version of Siege Megatron. In some ways it's a little shinier, and it's bigger. These metal feet here hang a little bit, but not a big deal. So there you have it, 6. And I say 6 knockoff versions of various Transformers. Very cool. I'll put links to all these in the description. Hopefully they're all still available. And while you're mulling these guys over, you can check out another video over here, which is all a bunch of Beast Wars and Beast Wars Neo knockoffs that I recently reviewed. And of course, I hope you're enjoying these videos as much as I enjoy making them and playing with these guys. We'll see you next time. As always, have fun and good hunting.